Hey everyone, how are you doing? What's crazy about tonight was that I was just chilling, and I know that I made a commitment, like internally, that I was gonna go live for 14 days. And so, even though I didn't put a what is it called, like a pre like not a pre-warning, but like, hey, I'm gonna be live these 3 days. It was like 10 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But then I didn't do one for today's Thursday, right? But I did want to go ahead and come on live because I said I was going to do it for 14 days. So I got to honor that commitment that I said that I made to myself. And so I am here. We're going to talk about a really good topic. I really could not shake this. So I feel like that this is the topic and the way to go. So we're going to be talking about how to overcome the overwhelm of debt. Yes, we are going to overcome the overwhelm of debt. And one of the things that I know, especially in a course that I taught years ago on personal finance, was that, um, debt can sometimes feel like a mountain that we get tired of climbing, right? And it continues to pile and pile and pile up and pile up. And then next thing you know, we're in this mountain of debt, and it really seems really hard to really overcome. And so we're going to talk about how we can overcome the overwhelm, right? And so the thing is that debt comes with a lot of baggage. Needless to say, debt comes with a lot of baggage. For instance, it comes with a lot of emotional baggage. It comes with, liabilities are just a baggage of its own. And then also just dealing with what it does to you, like every single month, and what it does to your money. And so I'm not here to what is it called, to bash debt or whatever it is. I think debt is is a good thing. Like, not like, oh, it's a great thing, get into all the credit card debt. Not like that. But it is something that you can use for leverage. And so Miles Monroe has a saying that says, whatever you don't know the purpose of, like whatever you don't like know the use of, right, you'll abuse. And so the thing is that I believe that debt is something that can give leverage. And so and people who are in real estate investing, they use debt as a leverage because they know that they can get a return above the amount of debt and interest that they have to repay back. And so again, it's how you look at it and what your perspective is. But let's talk about like the real debt that, most of us probably have, right? And let's talk about the four uh common debts. And again, these can be intertwined. And so the first one that I want to talk about of the four types of debt is, the first one is going to be called, it is called the secured debt. Right? The secure debt is normally like your house, your car. It's backed up by an asset or a physical thing, right? And so when you have secure debts, it is, and also I think you could do that with stocks. That's like another wealth play move, but I won't get into that. But that just came in my head. But that's so funny. Cash App. Anyways, if you feel led to uh, give to the church, feel free to. You will get a statement at the end of the year. Anyways, that had to come up, so I just had to throw that in there. Maybe that's for somebody, right? But let's talk about secure debt. So secure debt is debt that is backed up by something. So, you know, like whenever you go out and you get a loan for a car, right? Let's say if you got a really good car for like a $50,000 loan, the car is going to have to be worth at least $50,000, right? You can't get a $50,000 loan on like a, well, you probably, well, depending on the market, right? On a 2000 1999 green Honda CRV that's barely working. So whenever they issue a secure debt, the secure debt has to be backed up by the amount of debt that you have. And so hence your home, your car, whatever it is, that is what secure debt. So unsecured debt is, it's not backed up by anything. So most credit card debt is unsecured debt. That means that, hey, we're going to give you this credit card. I'm not talking about secure credit cards, but going to give you this credit card and you pay back whenever you pay back. Signature loans, just loans where they're just giving you money and they're just like, go ahead and pay us back. It's not backed by something. And so a secure debt is something like if you don't pay your car note, they'll come and repossess your car. If you don't pay your home, you'll get foreclosed on. And so that is a secure debt. And then we're looking at an unsecured debt. It's not backed up by anything. And then we have the difference between installment loans and revolving debt. So installment loans is basically is going to be your car, like your loan on a car. Installment loans, like if you have a regular loan, like you're making payments and you have like a beginning balance. So on your car, if you take out a loan of $50,000 and then you pay it down, it's like an installment loan, like you're paying it down. Revolving debt is something that as long as you pay it back, your available amount of credit is determined by how much you use. And you could do it over and over and over and over and over again. You can have a revolving credit as long as you make your on-time payments and you have available credit. Then you have revolving credit. Like soon as you pay off your car, you're done with your car. It's not like, hey, you still got $50,000 to spend on this credit. No, that's the difference between a installment loan, and a revolving credit. And so we talked about secure, unsecure, installment, and revolving credit. And so just looking at debt, like we're going to talk about like the main debt that a lot of people have and how to overcome that overwhelm. And the thing that I would say is that debt is, again, has a lot of baggage, highly emotional, highly, that there's just so much that comes with it that creates anxiety in us, right? And I know I bring up the story in the Bible in 2 Kings chapter 4, where it talks about the woman who had debts, and the debtors were coming to take her sons away so that they can, as slaves, so that they can work for them. And that was the only way she had to repay her debt. And so that wasn't the only way, because Elisha actually found a way to borrow some jars, right? And then go and sell the oil. And so the thing is that regardless of what you've done in the past, the thing that I would say is please just have grace. Have grace. A lot of people like to go into the mindset or the emotions of, oh my gosh, I messed up. I got in mountains and mountains of credit card debt. And I would have to say that in order for you to overcome the overwhelm, you got to get over the guilt. You got to get over the shame that comes with not paying off your debt, right? I understand, like, you have the issue there, but at some point, it's very important for us to kind of detach and look at it at an objective view. Because the thing is that what happens is that if we are in a state of overwhelm, we get into a state of paralysis. And so that means that if I'm overwhelmed, I'm going to feel powerless. When you're overwhelmed, you feel like you're being overpowered, even though you have power over the things. So you have to realize that there was something that was said to me, and it was whenever I was starting my business, and something had happened. It was like something crazy had happened. I remember I was telling one of my coaches what was happening, but I remember she was just sitting there and she was like, I understand these things happen, and just know that you have the power to change it. And so she didn't, what is it called? Pacify like the feelings, because those feelings were real, the events were real, but she was like, you have the power to change it. Like, you really have the power to change it. And if there was one thing I were to say in order to overcome the overwhelm, is to get into a position of authority over your debt. Again, the Bible says that we cannot serve two masters. We are to only serve one master. And so We are meant to be in a place to where we are not to serve money, but money is to serve us. And regardless of the debt that we owe, right? We have to be in the position of, okay, I got myself into this position. What can I do? How can I empower myself? What would an empowered person do in order to overcome this debt? And I'll say this is that it doesn't happen by yeah, tackling it, yeah, something like that, all at once. Like you have to sit down. Now, this is where it's going to take sacrifice, right? I know that this is an old saying: you can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know. That statement's a little different, but I understand. But the thing is, it is going to take some time for you to sit down. So if you're asking, what do I need to do? Because I am a state of overwhelm. I hate debt. I can't believe I'm in this position again. What are we going to do? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Start where you're starting, right? What I would do is sit down. Now, this is going to take some time. This is going to take some time out your day, but you're going to have to invest in figuring out where you are at. So, I like Excel spreadsheets, of course. I analytical. That's who I am. Take an Excel spreadsheet. I would probably lean on the Excel spreadsheet. Some people like to write, but it's hard to keep up with it, like have a good system to where you can keep up with it. But I would have a spreadsheet. I would go out and write down every single credit card debt. If you have to go on Credit Karma, that's free. Experian, there's a free way you can get on that. It's called Experian. There's TransUnion, where you can look at a credit report and you can see all the debt that you have that is reported to, like, that is reported on your behalf. And so go to one of the credit report free websites. Again, Experian, TransUnion. I mean, I haven't got on Equifax, but you can get on one of those. You can have a free account. They do have level ups to where you can pay, but just get the free account. Go through your credit report, go through and see. And you've got to actually face it. Again, you have to get into a position of authority so that you can take charge of your debt. Again, you may not be able to tackle it all at once, but it is okay. So, tell me what to do step by step. You go through and you look at, okay, what credit card debts do I have? Okay, I owe this. You write it down or you put it in a spreadsheet. How much do you owe? How much is your available credit? Just go through and do that for all of your debt. You may have credit card debt, the revolving debt. You may have installment loans. You may have a car debt. So you may have student loans. We know that those are a big deal, right? And then you have your mortgage. Write all of that down. And the reason why I would say to use a spreadsheet is because you're able to sort by amount, you're able to sort alphabetically, you're able to sort. And also, if you want to do some deep work, I would figure out the day. I am really giving out. See this? I usually do this in a class that I used to do. But anyways, that's fine. I would go through and list out the due dates for like each of your bills. Go ahead and do that. Again, if you're not one of those kind of people, you've got to do it. You've got to take some time to do that. Once you do that, you're able to see all the debt that you owe. And guess what? You're able to see what the minimum payment is. If you know the minimum payment, I would go through and do the minimum payment. It takes some time to actually set it up. But once you do, like, you don't need to go every day. Like, once you have the due date, like if you have to pay by the first of the month or the 13th, you can put 13 and you can go down the line and figure out, okay, this is due every 13th of the month. Okay, what's the minimum payment? Okay, it's $40, it's $25. Just line it out, lay it all out there, because that is going to be the first step for you to overcome the overwhelm. Because as long as you have it in your head, as long as you keep you keep the numbers in your mind. Oh, I know I don't have enough. Oh, I know I can't pay the debt right now. You don't know that. Like your brain is because you are sending emotions to your brain to say be overwhelmed because it doesn't see it plainly on paper. And we've seen that according to one of the studies is that the people who write down their goals are most likely to achieve it. And so the thing is you've got to, like, you've got, I'm giving y'all for game, like you've got to sit down and you've got to write it all out. Once you do that, right? What do I do after that? You really just need to see where you are at, and you'll find out you're probably not. I I feel like someone said this to me. It's not as bad as you think it is. It is, like it's not as bad as what you think it is. Like it's not the worst as it can be. A lot of people that I've had this done on, or people who've gone through and done this, they saw that, wow, like it's not that bad as I thought. I thought I was just, whoo, I thought I was just done for, all of my debt, all of that, but it made me feel better. And once you see it down on paper, again, that puts you into a position to where you are able to be in a place of authority over the debt. Now you're able to look at it and say, okay, can I do these minimum payments? Okay, next thing you can do is go ahead and write down your other monthly expenses that are due, your electric bill, your rent, put all of that down, right? Of course, you don't have a big old balance due or anything like that, but it's good to do that as far as budgeting so that if you if you get paid every week, if you get paid bi-weekly, if you get paid every month, you will be able to know where to allocate the funds and when. And the thing is that I think I feel a hold on, let me make sure I have, oh, that's what I've had to do. Go on Facebook to figure out the things. But that's what I would do. And then again, like I feel like once you do that, overwhelm. Now again, now I will say this. You may get overwhelmed by the amount of your student loans. You might get overwhelmed by the total debt. But what I will say is to overcome that overwhelm, it's not that bad. It's not that bad with installment loans, different things like that. Again, the secure debt. If you look at what the minimum is due, you'll be able to see, okay, can I break this down? Can I overcome this? And most likely you will be able to do it. And if not, then that's when you will be able to figure out what to sift through, what you can keep, what you can throw away. Because I understand, like, I know there are several people out there that are waiting for like a big windfall of money. They're waiting for a big bonus or something to go ahead and knock out all the debt. But you know what I see in a lot of these cases, and I mean a lot, is the fact that if you don't change your mindset, you will be right back in a position like of where you were. Seen it over and over again. I've done that. So let's just be real. If you do not overcome the habits within your mind and the mindset and the psychology of not getting into debt, like you have to overcome, like it's really like a money mindset, and making sure that you're managing, then you, again, the debt is going to creep back on you. Like I've seen it over and over again. I've seen millionaires, multimillionaires declare bankruptcy, right? Because they think, okay, boom, I'm making all this money. Okay, that's all I need to do. I just need to make more money and it's going to be gone. Me and my husband, I always say this story, but me and my husband, we were literally like it was and I think it was the beginning of our marriage, and it was like we had more month than money at times. And the thing is, it wasn't that we were just like barely making it, right? We're making okay, like we were comfortable, we were living a good middle class life, right? And the thing is that he was just saying, I just need to make more. I just need to make more. But again, if there are millionaires, and I've seen them, there are millionaires that are declaring bankruptcy. Listen, that tells you right there that more money is not going to be a substitute for money management. It just won't. It will not. So for people like, and I'm saying again, this is not for guilt or shame. This is just saying that there has to be another way of tackling it, like getting to the root issue of why is debt creeping up, right? Is it a cash flow issue? Is it, okay, are we short on cash a certain time of the month? Is it the fact that maybe when we pay off debt, we have all this because we, in the back of our minds, we see that we have a leverage capital in the back of our minds. Oh, okay, if I ever get short again, I got $20,000 of credit card that I can use just in case if I become short. So our minds get lax and we don't really look at managing money. We're like, oh no, we're gonna have to um like we're able to spend this money freely because I was paying $500 in credit card debt, but now since I don't, I'm able to spend more money on more things. And then next thing you know, it's a true habit. I forget what it's called, but it basically says that if, again, it's different mindsets. You have the negative mindset. Well, let me start with the positive. You have a surplus mindset. You're used to having some money left over. You have a break even mindset, or you have a negative, like meaning you're upside down. You don't have a surplus. You have a deficit at the end of the month. If you're at a break even mindset, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Your mindset is just going to say, okay, I have money in the bank. Okay, I need to spend this amount. I need to spend this amount until we're break even. Or if you're in a negative mindset, I need to spend until we're negative in our bank account. So you can go through 10, 20, 30 raises, right? You can have all these bonuses. You can make all the revenue and still be in the same cash position. So very firm on that. As you guys can tell, I feel pretty strongly with it because I've seen it. I've seen it so much, and that's something that just has to be broken through. But I will tell you that once you are in a place to where you can write it down, like most of your overwhelm is going to be done, right? A lot of people are too afraid, and this is what I've seen. A lot of people are too afraid to face the debt. Like they're too afraid. Like they know, like I know in your brain, okay, I probably owe, excuse me, 10,000 here. Okay, I know the house. I owe 200 grand still. I owe 30 grand on a car still. I owe, like you may know those things, but until you lay it out and write it down, I guarantee you most of your overwhelm, your feeling of overwhelm is just gonna kind of go away because you're gonna see, okay, this is something that is doable. And if you don't feel like it's doable, I would say to definitely get a coach, get a financial coach, get some help, right? Or get somebody to look over it with you and be like, okay, yeah, that's nothing. Because again, it's a mindset issue. And I wish I could tell you that, hey, once you become, multimillionaire, you don't have to worry about nothing, right? Because again, I've seen the millionaires that have had to file bankruptcy because they did not get the money management part under control. So, and it's not a substitute. It is not, like, again, making more money only and not being very defensive about it and careful and to manage your money. It's just not a substitute for that. Making more money is just not a substitute. So that's not to say just be real constrictive. Again, it's very important to write down your goals. But what I will say is that if, like, most of the success is going to be in writing down the debt, the minimum payments, and the balances, and you will see that it is something that you will be able to overcome. Because overwhelm is really just a feeling. So once you do that, you'll feel like you will feel like you have more authority, and you will be empowered to overcome that. And for those that are watching, I just want to let y'all know that I am doing a group coaching 8-week 90-day group coaching of and it's dealing with the financial foundations, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're just like, hey, I've been making it, I've been making money in my business, but I think there are some key things that I am missing in my business that I need. This class will definitely be for you. Just inbox me or just put it in the comment if you would like more information. But yes, the class is, it was going to be $14.97. I went ahead and went down to $9.97 because yeah, I just thought about you guys. I was like, yeah, that sounds right. So just FYI on that, I do have that, and I'm gonna see if there are any questions. Yes, yes, yes. Change your mindset. Going through the comments, just making sure. Was doing my biweekly budget, and boom, here you are. Yes, have authority over your money. I use Excel too. Yes, yes, my Asian sister. I love it. I hate it, but it's so organized. And also, you're able to sort it. It's great. Markeith, what is up? It is so good to see you. Man, we've got to catch up. I keep all my debt in pages with a pie chart. Ooh, fancy. I like that. Yes, because you're able to see the breakout of each debt. And so you'll see the different pieces. Like I see it visually. So that is amazing. That's a great way, especially if you're a visual person and spreadsheets are like ill, just putting information on there like yuck. You can do it in spreadsheets as well to where you can have a pie chart, but it's pretty cool because you get to see, okay, like maybe Chase debt over here, right? Chase credit card is having a big piece of the pie, and you'll be able to see it visually. Very good, very good suggestion right there. Review weekly on Sundays. Here's the thing: you want to be in a place of being proactive versus being responded. So Sundays, Saturday, they're just good days. Like whenever you're not feeling that pressure to perform and to respond and be in a moment of um of really responding to everything. So that is really good. So get in a position of authority. Thanks, hubby. Kelly said, I needed this. Thank you. Such a good way to look at your place of authority over debt. And then Tori Montgomery, my hubby, said, yes, yes, change your mindset. More money is not a substitute for money management. And so, yes, love you, Asia sister. So, yes, I would say that if y'all have any more suggestions, listen, that was great. I love the pages thing to where there's a pie chart. If you listen, there's so many ways that you can look at overcoming debt or having a budget. And I guarantee you. So if you have any suggestions, thank y'all so much for commenting. If you're watching a replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay and put the way that you have your budget or you overcome debt or you have overcome debt. There's so many ways. And I love to see just the different ways that people overcome debt. Again, I mean, if you look at repayment, I mean, you can repay debt. I mean, people know what to do, but it's just a way of getting a strategy to do it. But I wanted to start up here over 30,000 foot level because I know that once you write it down, it gives you that um, that relief from that overwhelm. So thank y'all so much. Y'all have been super duper amazing. And I appreciate the love and the feedback and everything like that. And so look forward. I am going live. This is, I don't know, day 4 or something like that. But I did make a promise myself, had to make sure that I stay up on that. And y'all have an amazing Thursday night or day or whatever time it is. So, all right. God bless y'all. See y'all.